All right, everybody, welcome back to Culz Sports Chat, episode 21. We are here live heading into the Fantasy Football Championship matchup for Culz Fantasy Football League, which pits me against Brendan for a fourth time. Our records currently is 1, 1, and 1. And then this year we are 1-1. So quite literally, for all the marbles, all the bragging rights, Brendan, you obviously pulled off a pretty giant victory over California Sun Hitters, a team that's been playing pretty well the last couple weeks, and you just decimated them. How are you feeling after that?
I'm feeling different. I was a little shocked that I beat him by that much. I did think I could beat him. I was worried about Patrick Mahomes last time he went against the Raiders. He was, he put up really good numbers, so kind of sucked. Or it was a good thing that he didn't do as well this time. But so, anyways, yeah, should be a fun matchup against you. I have a good record in the playoffs against you, but not in the regular season. So, yeah.
Yeah, and on my side of the bracket, I faced off with Dark Horse, who called their shot last week and was not able to back it up. Though for a while there, going into the late into the third quarter, I was a bit worried that it was going to end up me losing by like 1.5 points or whatever it was that I was down. Because AJ Brown was just not getting targeted for whatever reason. It's like he got paid off by Dark Horse not to get thrown the ball. Brennan, I just got to ask you a question. Did you pay your quarterback to not throw AJ Brown the ball?
No, I wanted you to beat Dark Horse.
Oh, you're saying Dark Horse paid your quarterback.
Yeah, Dark Horse paid my quarterback. He knew it was going to come down to that, so he paid it.
Oh man, that was I had to just put it away and not look at it because it was just like making me angry. I was like, throw the ball. Throw the ball. He needs like 20 yards and a catch. Just throw him the football. And then luckily I got it, so I move on. Both Brendan and I have won multiple championships. Brendan's going for title number 4 and his second in 3 years and 3 in the last 3 if we count our tie last year, right? So pretty good record in the last few. Did you want to say something? No. Okay. I wasn't sure. And then on my side, looks like I'm going for championship number 7. So Brendan's trying to stop me from becoming our version of the New England Tom Brady's here. But it should be good. I don't know what my team's going to do because some weeks it scores crazy amount of points. Other weeks it barely gets 100. So should be a good matchup. We both deal with injuries. I don't know if either of us know certain stars who's playing where this week. Will I start Justin Fields, who I'm representing, who took me to the title game, or will Mr. Louisville Cardinal Lamar Jackson be in? See, I can't tell you now. It's part of my game plan.
So you're not even going to, think about playing Joe Flacco, who plays on Thursday night against the Jets?
I might. We'll have to see if the ghost of Otto Graham. Maybe he'll come in later and tell me put in Joe Flacco. But yeah, that's our fantasy football matchup. Castle Rock Rams, Montana Outlaws, number 5 versus number 3. Quite literally 2 in championships. Look at that. Other big news, it looks like Mr. Bountygate himself was too much Bountygate for even Sean Payton, as it looks like Kareem Jackson was released. Yep. So it looks like even Sean Payton was tired of his stuff.
He wasted no time in the free agent portal, though. He was signed immediately as he was released from Denver.
Where did he go to?
He's
Houston
going back
Texans.
home to Houston. DeMarco Ryan picked him up right away.
Come on, Houston.
Right? What are they thinking, man? They didn't have to deal with him in a game, so they were like, all right, let's just pick him up.
Man.
But it still doesn't change the fact that Sean Payton has a dirty way of coaching, and his team is just dirty.
Bounty Gate 2.0. I was having a conversation on Christmas Eve with somebody, and we were discussing how even to this day, Sean Payton plays the victim for Bounty Gate, even though there is clear audio of what was going on in the locker room. Like, I don't know why he's pretending like the NFL targeted him. Yeah. Shall we get into last week's scores? I know we had some crazy games last week.
Well, there were some good ones, though, too.
There was some good ones, yeah. We'll start off on... Shout out to Matt for predicting the Patriots to kick the Bronco asses. That is true. Matt did pick the Patriots. I wanted to. I didn't think their offense could pull it off. But we'll get to that game. Pretty excited for that outcome. Christmas came early to some of us that day. Thursday night, we did see the Rams beat the Saints, and it was a pretty close game towards the end. But I think for the majority of the game, the Rams were out ahead by at least 10 points or so. Matt, I think did you just say something?
No, I said for sure. That was it was more of a game over type game than it led on at the end score.
Yeah. Well, and the Rams are now clear and lead for the 6th playoff spot. We got 2 more weeks left, and we'll see how we pick right now. Maybe I'll put up the playoff machine at the end, and we'll see who we think makes the playoffs. You'll hear it here first. Let's see who made it. The Saturday game's kind of weird. We saw Pittsburgh out of nowhere just decimate the Bengals. Brendan, what's your thinking on this game here?
Rudolph delivered on Christmas again. That's about that. I mean, we've seen Mason Rudolph, before where he's looked like complete ass. So, I mean, it's shocking that they were able to do that, but hey.
Yeah, I don't think any of us picked Pittsburgh, so that was an interesting one. A team that put up more fight this week was the Chargers, who for a while there looked like they might beat the Buffalo Bills, but then Josh Allen and co. were able to come back, pull off the victory. Matt, how's our boy Josh Allen doing up in Buffalo?
I'm done with him for this year, man. He's going to ride the bench in the 5th place game. I am going with Browning, I think, in this one. Just he's not connecting right now with his receivers. He's been off this whole year, and you could say the same for a few quarterbacks. But look at Patrick Mahomes as well. There's just something right now about these 2 quarterbacks that they just don't have it figured out. This isn't their year, so we'll see where we go from there. But I do believe Browning is going to get the start over Allen.
Ooh, some hot news right there, fantasy football world. Let's see our next score. We had another surprise one here. Atlanta dominating Indianapolis. Again, I don't think any of us picked Indianapolis to lose this game. So It was quite surprising. I don't know. Brennan, what's your thoughts on the offensive output from Atlanta?
I think the first half was really good. They used their weapons pretty well, but in the second half, I don't know what happened. Like they just seem to have disappeared. Kyle Pitts had a really good drive. That's about it all year, all game. I'm not completely shocked that Falcons won. Desmond Ritter does have a better home record than away record, so him being at home, he's kind of used to it. But I was shocked on how many points they put up.
Well, speaking of points, for the first time in the Bryce Young era, the Panthers scored 30 points, and they still lost, unfortunately, for them. But Green Bay came out with a victory there, which I think we were split on last week. I think some of us thought Carolina, some of us thought Green Bay. Matt, Green Bay could make the playoffs, but do you think they're going to get dog walked in round one?
Oh, yeah, dude, for sure. They just don't have the experience yet. Teams have to build that experience. I believe Detroit might be the same way. I think, they're going to get in, but they're not going to get far in the playoffs. They just don't have that experience yet. Yeah. Not taken away from the team in the season that they've had. It's just, as we all know, the playoffs are a whole nother game, and the teams with the experience succeed in the playoffs. That's why I think even though some of these teams are coming in at the bottom level, they're going to be the most dangerous teams because they have the experience. I would not want to play Kansas City in the playoffs because whatever's going on with them now, they're a different team in the playoffs. But Green Bay just doesn't have that experience yet. So, they may make it, but they're not going far.
Well, and then we come to the game where the ghost of Otto Graham reappeared last week after his long hiatus, and the Browns just handled the Texans. It was sort of close, not as close as I thought it was going to be, but the Browns and Joe Flacco, playoff bound, and hey, if Joe Flacco keeps playing the way they're playing, maybe the Browns go to the Super Bowl. You heard it here first, especially if the ghost of Otto Graham picks him again. He's undefeated in his picks. So
I don't know. I still want to go back to the very first week he made his appearance. I think he picked that one wrong. I think. I need to think so. Check the records, but
I think the ghost of Otto Graham, we got to start putting money on. Every time he comes on, go put some money on it.
I don't know. Let's find that actual footage and we'll double check that one. I'm calling a fact check.
We're gonna fact check it.
Otherwise,
see.
No, he's been right. The only one I'm just questioning is that very first one.
Well, here we go. The Minnesota Viking game. They play it close, lose to Detroit. I did talk to Nick today, who's another Minnesota fan. He was not very impressed with what Mullins did. Matt, what was your take on Mr. Nick Mullins?
If you're going to go anywhere in this league, you're going to have to learn how to protect the ball. 4 interceptions in one game is unacceptable. The game could have completely went the other way had we not had 4 picks, but we just didn't. He didn't. He didn't protect the ball good enough to get the job done. That's my biggest advice to him is protect the ball.
Well, then the Jets beat the Commanders. So Commanders, a week after the Jets just looked like dumpster fire, they come out and put up 30 points and beat the Commanders. Good thing we did not tell that guy to go pick the Commanders defense last week. We were like, no, go pick other teams. So Jets showed up and they put up the points. Seahawks tried to lose it, tried not to make the playoffs, but luckily for them, they got real people at quarterback now, not robots. So that's nice. I'm excited there. How about Tampa Bay handling Jacksonville? How do you feel about that one?
I didn't see that one coming at all. Jacksonville just looked like the Jacksonville old. This, that's a game you watch and you go, oh, "There's Jacksonville." I wondered where they were. No, totally shocked. And then to have Lawrence go down towards the end of the game. I mean, majority of this is still on his shoulders. But it's going to be a tough run for Jacksonville for the rest of this end of the season, into the playoffs.
Well, and then, hey, Chicago, Justin Fields taking care of business. Yeah, it's against Arizona, but you know what? They were able to win and win handily. And you know what? You know who liked to tweet saying the Bears should draft Marvin Harrison Jr. #1? Mr. Caleb Williams. So, yeah, just more facts for you. You don't want Caleb Williams as a Chicago Bear, guys. Justin Fields, I mean, DJ Moore's come out and said he's a better quarterback. I don't know what do you guys
No, I don't want him in Minnesota either. We can pass on Caleb Williams too. He's too headstrong. Like I said, I think we talked about this last week or the week before, but he wants ownership in the team that drafts him. So no, you're not even proven yet, and you're wanting ownership. You can move on down the road. Marvin Harrison Jr. would look great in purple and gold to go along with Addison and Jefferson.
Hey, he's going to Chicago, #1. Pair him with Moore, that'd be great.
Bears are going to get a quarterback. It's just not going to be Caleb Williams.
Nah, no quarterback there. Oh, Brendan, this game, here we go. 22-20. Miami handles business against the Cowboys. Helps you guys out. How are you feeling with that one?
I felt great. I loved it. Honestly, it was a little closer than I thought it was going to be. I actually, during the game, I thought the Dolphins were actually going to run away with it a little bit. So to see the game come down to a last-second field goal was a little shocking. But, you know, it was from what the rest of it that I saw, it seemed to be an actual really good game, which we all kind of were hoping. Dallas has one more hard game, so we'll see. But also, you know, I'm kind of indifferent. Like, I want the Eagles to do better than the Cowboys. But at the same time, looking at schedule and alignment and everything, I can tell you for sure that I'd rather go to LA and Minnesota next year than San Francisco and Detroit. So, I mean, as much as I want them to win the division, which would be the first time an NFC East team did it back-to-back years since the Eagles did it in 2002 and 2003, I would also like the Cowboys to win the division, just so then we get an easier schedule next year. I mean, we're already made the playoffs, so we're already in the dance. What's the difference between going to Buccaneers or having the Lions come to us? I mean, it's
right. Well, as you see on this,
the Bucks. Which one would you rather do?
the Bucks.
Yeah.
So, Bobby, we see you did put on that you would bench Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Why are you benching Russell Wilson now?
I just rather get something going this week. I just want to see what Stidham can do, in the pocket.
I mean, I feel like, Matt said it before. Stidham's a better quarterback than Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Wilson he just stands there.
I don't know if he just stands there. He runs around.
Runs around, but he still takes a hit.
Yeah, no, I've seen footage from the Patriots game where he had wide open receivers, but instead of placing his foot down and waiting, he started to run around.
Yep.
So, all right, let's see. Oh, that brings us, right on schedule to our, big holiday gift of the year. New England Patriots were able to pull off a huge victory and beat the Denver Broncos here in Denver. It was a lot closer towards the end than it should have been.
Yeah.
The Patriots scored 14 points in 8 seconds. So if that tells you anything about Denver.
Sloppy in the second half.
Yeah, fumbling all over.
Dude, I totally think Belichick was just screwing with the Broncos. They're like, dude, all right, we're going to let him back in the game, and then we're going to kick a field goal at the end and just put the fans out of their miseries.
Well, look, the Broncos are going to be just high enough to not make the playoffs, but also too high to draft any of the top quarterbacks.
Yeah. Shame on them for that. That's all on Denver there. They should have, pulled the plug when they were, 1-5.
I mean, not to say that they can get rid of Russ. Next year, he has a dead cap of, I mean, they could, but he has a dead cap of 85 million next year, which is almost half your salary cap. So if you factor in that, plus if you
Get rid of
go
it.
sign a free agent quarterback, which the top is Baker Mayfield,
Yeah,
and you have a combined 120 million, over half your cap on two players,
get
one
rid
of
of it.
which doesn't play there, that doesn't make any sense. So I
I
think
think,
Russ is back for another year.
well, I think depending on where the Buccaneers go, if they make the playoffs and can get a little bit of a playoff run, I think they re-sign Mayfield.
Oh, I think they
there's
should.
some trust in him.
I think Kansas City is going to lose out though. I somehow, my God, I think Kansas City loses out and we win the division.
No.
Yeah, I don't think
It
so.
could happen.
Hey, we'll do our
Good, but it
playoff
won't.
machine. Yeah, we'll do our playoff machine here in a second. Don't worry. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Now we're talking Monday. We had 3 Christmas games. So kind of another weird week. Starting off with the Raiders beating the
Kansas City.
Chiefs. Now, Brendan, do you think this should solidify the coaching job there in Las Vegas? You're still on mute.
I would hope so. We'll have to wait and see. He does have a few losses that I think he should have won with the team. I mean, your defense stops Minnesota and you can't put up a single point, and then you go beat 2 divisional opponents. But I mean, going into Arrowhead and keeping Patrick Mahomes to 14 points is a good thing. But at the same time, your offense scored 7 points. So your defense is holding up your offense. So you obviously need some type of structure, but I mean, that might just come over time and him having an off season of putting in people he wants and stuff. So, I mean, we'll see.
Well, then the second game of the day, Philadelphia was able to handle business, beat the Giants, get me a fantasy football victory there. I was nervous. I had to turn it off. But Brendan, you guys win. Obviously, you're already in the playoffs. Are you worried at all? I'm seeing a lot of talk on X where people are saying trade Hurts, get Caleb Williams, which I think is asinine, but
I think that's ridiculous and that's never going to happen, obviously. But I don't know. I'm going to agree with the people commentating the Sunday night game, the Monday game, that there is something deeper going on in Philly. And I don't know if it's Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni just being yes men and trying to go push the ball down the field too much and just yeeting it. I mean, they showed video evidence of against the Seahawks. Jalen Hurts could have just dumped it off to the check down, and Gainwell or Swift could have taken it 10, 15 yards, and they could have instead bombed it into triple coverage. So I feel like there is something going on. I did see something interesting about bringing Frank Reich back and being the offensive coordinator, which could be interesting to see. I don't think we should get rid of Hurts unless Hurts is the problem, which is a rumor that I also heard was, he is becoming a problem, and A.J. Brown even didn't want to commentate yesterday after the win and stuff. So I don't know. It's getting dicey. Their wins aren't pretty, and they're not obviously where they want to be, but I mean, at least you're in the playoffs.
right. Well, and then to wrap up Monday, we had Baltimore kicking San Francisco butt.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy throwing 4 interceptions.
I didn't think that would happen.
Yeah, I mean that is crazy. I think there's only one of 6 quarterbacks in the last 5 years to have done that. All not big names. So Could be time to panic for San Francisco. Could just be a trip up, but it could be an early projector of if these two teams meet, what would happen in the Super Bowl.
No, I think it was just a bad game for Brock. There's no chance he would go out and do it again.
No.
Again, a young quarterback who's in his second year, Mr. Irrelevant. He was with some tweaking, and after a game like this, I think he'll look at the film and make the corrections he needs. And I wouldn't rule San Francisco out at all of making a strong run in the playoffs.
Well, speaking of the playoffs, we're 2 weeks out. So, of course, we'll give you our picks for this week, but we're also going to pick next week and try to show you who we think is going to be in the playoff picture. So, Matt, do you have a coin or anything ready in case we do tie 2-2?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so we have it ready. Let's begin. Thursday night this week, we have the Jets and the Browns. Bobby, who you taking?
I'm going Cleveland.
Cleveland?
Yeah.
Okay. Brendan?
I'm going to go Cleveland. They're just the better round team, have the better quarterback. Joe Flacco has shown a reemergence of a younger form of himself. And, I know I texted you or I think last week or 2 weeks ago now, wouldn't it be funny if Joe Flacco led the Browns to an AFC championship game against the Ravens?
Right. Might happen.
That's just as crazy as Brett Favre leading the Vikings to an NFC championship game. Like, they're quarterbacks that you would never think would play for their, divisional opponent, rival. And I guess the Browns aren't as bad as if he went and played for the Steelers, but still.
Right. Well, and a big just kind of comeback because was he even in the league last year or
he was with the Jets.
Was he? But he was a backup or a third stringer or something.
Yeah.
And this year he was on free agency till the Browns signed him, and then look what he's done. He went back to the practice squad after one of his games. So, Matt, what about you? Browns, Jets.
Give me those Cleveland Browns, baby. They're taking care of some Jets. Cleveland wins this one, I think, pretty handily. I'm going to go probably like 35-21 in that realm.
Yeah, give me the Cleveland Browns as well. I think they're going to win. And so, obviously, for our playoff machine, we got, because we're using ESPN, but we got the Browns winning this week. So, Bobby, Detroit, Dallas.
Wait, I see Detroit beating Dallas. The way Dallas has been playing lately, no.
Brendan, unbiased opinion.
It's in Dallas. That's
the hard part.
Yeah, that really is. It's not a divisional game, so I don't think Detroit's gonna, regress as much as they do during divisional games this year, for whatever reason. They could be coming off a hangover a little bit, though. Party a little too hard from the first NFC North championship since '93. My better judgment says the Cowboys. I hate it.
All right, Matt, what about you?
So we're on the subject of Detroit real quick. Just a shout out to the Detroit Pistons, who just set NBA history, losing their 27th consecutive game. Mad shout out to the Pistons out there.
Did you know that the Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks have more victories this season than the Detroit Pistons do?
Oh.
The MLB season has been done for 2 months.
But
Hey, the Colorado Rockies might be able to do better than the Detroit Pistons.
right? I mean, it's pretty scary here. I mean, shoot, maybe they want all eyes on the Detroit Lions. Maybe it's like a ownership thing they call it. Say, hey, can you guys just lose every game until we get through the playoffs? But maybe then the Red Wings would do the same.
Yeah.
I don't know. This one's kind of a hard one to say. Does Detroit play it safe and you start resting some of your starters? I mean, I know they have a potential to get another higher seed up, but you're guaranteed a home game at this point. If any of your guys have any ailments at all, it would probably be a smart decision to go ahead and sit them for a week or two, let them rest so you are ready for the playoffs, because you're probably going to be playing week 1 in the playoffs. So I think Dallas is going to come out all cylinders firing here. I don't see Detroit winning this one. This one's a bigger game for Dallas than it is Detroit, although, like I said, Detroit is playing for that higher seed, but so is Dallas, and Dallas is still playing for their division as well. So give me Dallas in this one.
See, I want to go Detroit on this one, kind of for the same reasons. I mean, they've still playing hard and stuff, and Dallas has been kind of up and down. Some weeks they look really good, some weeks they don't. So you know what this means, Matt? We got to flip the coin. Our first coin flip, only 2 games in. All right.
All right, we're going heads Detroit, tails Dallas.
Heads Dallas, tails Detroit, since Dallas is
All right,
home.
heads of Dallas. It landed on heads.
So we'll give it just to Dallas. All right, here's another one, Bobby. Miami, Baltimore. Who you got?
Where is it? Is it Miami or?
It's in Baltimore.
I'll take Baltimore this one.
Baltimore?
Yeah.
Brendan.
Right now it's hard to choose against the Ravens. They went into San Francisco and just slapped Brock Purdy around.
Just handled
it. And now you're going to go against the AFC version of that offense. I'm choosing the Ravens because I don't think anyone can stop them at this point, but it is, yeah. I hope it's a better matchup than what I think, but yeah, I see the Ravens running away with it.
Matt.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Baltimore in this one as well. Miami didn't show me enough going up against Dallas. They're playing one of those big, tough teams too. And I believe if I was reading right, wasn't it the stats on Miami that they have not beat a undefeated team until last week? Not an undefeated team, but a team with a winning record until last week. So this one is going to be an interesting one. Give me Baltimore taking care of Miami. If Miami wins it, it's because Tyreek Hill goes off and has, a 250-yard receiving game, and that's how they do it.
Brendan did not like that take you just gave. Look at him. He said, "No, Matt, bad. Do not put out those vibes."
He's also going to get 5 touchdowns in the game.
Yes. Hey, he is the GOAT. And oh man, this one hurts me because we got the GOAT, Mr. Tyreek Hill, going against Mr. Louisville Cardinal, Lamar Jackson. And this is hard, but I can't go against my Louisville Cardinals. So give me Lamar Jackson. I think what they did last week was really impressive. I do think Miami's a good team, but like Brennan said, they just kind of have challenges against some of those better teams. Obviously, when they killed the helpless Broncos 70-20, or they were putting up all these other points against like the Jets and such, they're bad teams. But then they go up against some good teams. They either kind of went close or they lose. So, yeah, give me the Ravens. So Ravens as a group consensus pick gets our pick.
I think Bobby just became a Dolphins fan. His response says he just wants to see something different in our offense. He's
Broncos
referring to
offense.
the team.
Sammy asked me.
Oh, Sammy asked you, why did you pick Miami over Baltimore?
Oh.
He's trying to understand. Most people would like to know kind of what your feelings are when you call them out, Bob.
Yeah.
So why did
Bobby,
you pick Miami then?
All right, so Bobby, going to the next one, we got the Patriots traveling hot off their win against the Broncos against kind of the stumbling Bills. How do you feel there?
I think Josh Allen redeems himself this week. You know,
I mean, okay. Brendan?
Buffalo wins 23-20.
Okay. I do think the Bills will be able to take care of things at home. I think last week was just a fluke. I don't know what Denver was on. They should have won that game. At least it looks like the Patriots are going to start getting some of their players back. Stevenson is back practicing, but is still questionable, and we'll see what happens, with some of their receivers. I know Juju's still hurt, and they're still missing a guy or two. So I think the Bills will. They're healthy. They've been clicking better recently, and so they'll take care of it.
Matt. Brendan's like, I already went.
I just want to hear Brendan go over that again. I think I'm going to old yeller. I think I'm going to old yeller with Josh Allen. I'm just going to take him out behind the back of the shed and put an end to his season for him. I think the Bills do get the victory over the Patriots. Patriots are like one of the worst teams in the NFL next to the Panthers. So the fact that they beat the Broncos is laughable. Almost when Miami put up the 70 on Denver's 20 was laughable. But no, Buffalo is going to take care of New England. They're going to show Denver how it's done and manhandle Bill Belichick and his deflated balls.
Just throwing arrows out everywhere on that one. Yeah, give me Buffalo Bills as well. They're playing really well. They're going to be at home. Maybe Josh Allen isn't putting up the numbers, but maybe he's playing safer football, and they're actually running it a little bit more. And I think Buffalo gets the job done. They're still on the kind of offset. They could miss the playoffs if they don't keep playing good. So brings us to our next matchup. We got hot off victory teams, Atlanta Falcons going against the Chicago Bears. Bob. We all know who I'm picking. Look, I'm repping their jersey right now.
I'm picking Chicago.
You picking the Blackhawks there, Keegan?
Well, I said jersey. I didn't say hat.
I'm picking Chicago. Chicago's got a good offense.
Brendan.
Well, I would hope the Blackhawks are going to win. The Atlanta Thrashers don't even exist anymore.
They could come back.
I think the Bears will win. I don't think, which kind of sucks because, the Falcons are right there in contention of getting the division. They're only a game behind. And I know they play the Saints next week. So they really have a chance of winning the division, but I don't think they will. I think the Bears have come together a little too soon for the Falcons' liking.
Mate.
I'm going to go with Justin Fields. He's looking better, more confident. I think they're seeing it. And yeah, like Brendan said, though, it's a tough one. You really kind of always hope to root for, Atlanta Falcons and some of these other teams that have had a rough, decade. But Atlanta falls short in this one. I think Chicago handles business.
Yeah, and you guys know I'm taking Chicago. I think Justin Fields can have another good day. Who did the Bolts? Oh, Baltimore plays Miami. It doesn't make my quarterback decision any easier because then we got also the Jets. So, but yeah, give me Justin Fields. Give me the Bears. The Falcons can be good, but they can also be really bad. And at least the Bears, if they lose, they've lost by putting up a lot of points, whereas the Falcons maybe put up 7 if they're lucky. So give me the Bears. Here's another kind of interesting matchup: Las Vegas Raiders, Indianapolis Colts. Bobby, who you taking?
I'm going Indianapolis. I gotta hope and pray Indianapolis beats the Raiders.
Is this because the Raiders could jump Denver?
Yes. I don't
So,
like to see that. No.
I thought they already did.
Hope's alive.
They
Raiders.
did, yeah. I forgot they are ahead of him in the standings. But Bobby, Brendan even picked the Cowboys, and you know how he feels about the Cowboys.
No. I'm picking Indianapolis.
All right, but Brendan, can you give us some insight onto this this matchup?
Nope.
No insight.
I think this is a coin toss type game, just because I've seen both play good and both play bad, and I don't think the Raiders really have much to fight for, but the Colts do. Like the Colts are in a 3-way tie for the division lead, and they're one of 2 teams, getting the 6-7 AFC seed spot. So I hope the Colts. I'm going to say the Raiders, I think, will win, but the Colts have more of a fire under them to win. So,
I'm so sorry. That was Dynamite by Tyler.
I think I'm going to have to go with the Las Vegas Raiders in this one. I think they got the fire going right now, and as a interim head coach, you want to. Again, we talked about this with the Raiders' previous interim coach. They did very well. They went out. The team has their back. They respect him. Hopefully, the Raiders are smart and go ahead and just sign him. He seems like the right guy right now. He's got the team playing very well for him. After the Raiders got shut out by Minnesota, they've won back-to-back games now. They're one of the hotter offensive teams right now. So I got the Raiders winning this one.
Brendan, did you say the Colts?
I think I said Raiders.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But
he said Raiders, Colts have more fire, right?
Okay, yeah, I'm picking the Raiders as well, so I guess our consensus pick to the Raiders. I would pick the Colts, how I feel about the city of Indianapolis and my familial connections. But they just lost to the Atlanta Falcons, and the Raiders are playing pretty good football right now. So give me the Raiders, which shakes up the playoffs, as we will find out. Speaking of playoffs and the division, we have Carolina going to Jacksonville, and I don't feel so good about Jacksonville. I'm going to say it first before everyone goes. I'm taking Carolina, Bobby.
Carolina. Eastern Jacksonville.
2 Carolinas, Matt. It's your turn.
I'm going to go with the cat animal in this one.
Oh, you would go with a cat. Look at those Thundercats.
Right? Give me the black cat, the big one. The Carolina Panthers take down the Jacksonville Jaguars this week. The Panthers don't have many more opportunities to win, but I think they get one this week.
Wow. Brendan, it looks like we're sending Carolina for the victory here, but who do you pick?
I don't know.
Man, that shook up the playoffs. I'm watching the 7th seed. We've had Houston, Indianapolis, and now Pittsburgh in that spot so far.
Well, yeah, I'll take Carolina. I mean, their win a couple weeks ago wasn't pretty against Atlanta, but supposedly they have a pretty decent defense, apparently, according to fantasy, which I did not believe or notice at all this year. But yeah, Jacksonville seems to be stumbling to the finish line instead of, this is our division to win. And, they're letting their foot off the gas and they're letting their foot off the tiger. So, yeah.
All right. So that takes us to our next matchup of this week. Speaking of the same division, we got Tennessee going to Houston. And I feel like they just played not long ago because it was the Houston Bowl. What was that 2 weeks ago? Was that last week? When did they play? Oh, no, that had to have been 2 weeks ago because Tennessee played Seattle.
Yeah, it wasn't this last week, but it was the week prior.
Man, feels like our NFL fantasy football schedule. Bobby, Houston, Tennessee. Is CJ Stroud playing? Do we know?
I don't know.
Because they have not looked hot since CJ Stroud has not played.
Nope.
Bobby, it's all
I'm
on you.
going Tennessee.
You're going Tennessee.
Yeah.
All right, Bobby says that's the only 10 I see. Matt.
I think Houston's still fired up that Tennessee stole the Oilers jerseys and stuff like that. I think they sweep them this year. They're going to get the win. Houston with the double wins.
Brendan.
Even with their backup, they still beat them in overtime. So I think Houston will be able to take care of it. And with the Raiders winning, beating Indianapolis, and Panthers beating the Jags, that means Houston goes from 3-13 last year, bottom of the conference, to division champions.
Ooh, that would be Coach of the Year candidacy.
One team goes from last to first, and we could be looking at the Texans doing that.
Right.
So, yeah, which I all am for.
Well, I don't feel as confident in Houston without CJ Stroud if he doesn't play. So I'm going to play on the safe side and take Tennessee, which means, Matt, bring out the corn. We got a second corn flip of the video. So heads Houston, tails Tennessee.
Okay. This time I have a tails, baby.
Oh, Tennessee pulls off the upset, which gives Jacksonville the lead again for the division. Houston had it for a little bit there. All right, so next matchup, LA Rams, New York Giants, Bobby.
I see the Rams beating the Giants. Stafford in the offense.
Matt.
Yeah, the Giants are lost again. Their quarterback DeVito is already out. I think they've shipped him back off to Italy, wherever he's from. Maybe the Italian, Little Italy in New York. They sent him back to go get some more pizza or meat balls, whatever he likes to eat. He's done. Rams are going to win this game pretty easily because the Giants are just lost again.
Brandon.
I mean, the Giants' offense did look better with Tyrod Taylor as their quarterback. I don't know why he wasn't their quarterback from the beginning, but Daboll is running a Daboll system, I guess. I don't know. The Rams are getting hot at the right time. I would not like to play the Rams right now currently. I do think it's pretty cool that if the playoffs stay how they are, Matt Stafford is going to Detroit for
playoff game.
That's pretty impressive to me. Going back to the Flacco, Baltimore potentially sometime in playoffs. We have another one here in potentially, or we would round one. Stafford going to Detroit, so I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and I'm taking the Rams as well. I've been saying they're going to sneak into the playoffs, and I think this is another step towards that. They've just been kind of impressive on offense and what they're still able to do They've been a lot more balanced, and I think that helps, especially in the playoff hunt. That brings us to a Brendan pick. Brendan, you lived in Arizona, you've seen the Cardinals, but they're playing your Philadelphia Eagles. Who are you taking? Oh, nothing. All right, Bobby, who are you taking?
I'm going Philadelphia over Arizona.
Mate.
Let's see here. I'll take the bird. Give me the bird to win the game. Well,
bird?
no, I think the Eagle. I mean, Arizona's not even a team I think it would be in the same league as the Eagles.
All right, Brendan.
If it was in Arizona, I think the Cardinals could have a chance. But the only reason I would give them a chance is that the Cardinals head coach is the ex-defensive coordinator for Philly. Like, he does know that, like, he's had to go and prepare against Jalen Hurts all last year. So in practices and stuff. So playing an actual game against him, I would think, that they actually had a chance. And plus they beat the Cowboys, earlier this year. Everyone forgets that. One of their 3 wins is against the Cowboys. Kind of for the same reason, though, I think, because, that head coach knows that team. And so, he should have beat the Giants, but he didn't. But the Eagles will win. I'm not too worried about it, but
Yeah, and with our clean sweep as of now, Eagles are holding number 1 seed. Obviously, we haven't picked the 49ers yet, but they have leapfrogged for now. Tampa Bay is hosting New Orleans. Bobby, who you taking?
I'm going Saints with this one.
Matt.
Tampa Bay, man, they're ready for a playoff game. They want to win. So yeah. What, Bob?
Brendan.
good job, Matt. Good try. I agree, though. I think Tampa Bay will win, which will eliminate the Saints from either their divisional game or getting a wild card spot.
Yeah, I'm taking Tampa Bay too. So look at that. Clean sweep. Oh, wait. Bobby picked New Orleans, huh?
Yeah,
Not
Bobby
a
went
clean
with the
sweep.
Saints.
Hey, Sean Payton, right? All right, speaking of San Francisco earlier, they're traveling to Washington. Brendan, we'll start with you. This got a lot of stake into where your team plays. Who do you think's winning, Washington or San Francisco?
Sorry, my computer just electrocuted my cat. He's fine, but it's just kind of funny. Chase Young revenge tour, right? Gets to go home after being traded to 49ers. I think the 49ers are going to win. They'll bounce back and be able to, take care of the Commanders. Commanders are kind of falling off. I for a second I had hope last weekend because they came back from 27-7, came back and took the lead 28-27, and then they just let them Jets win. Third string Trevor Siemian.
Well, speaking of a former Bronco quarterback, Bobby, will hand the pick over to you. Washington, San Francisco.
San Francisco. I think Brock Purdy comes back this week. Tosses 3 touchdowns this week since the loss this past week.
Mate.
Dude, this one is the easy pick of the week, dude. I don't even think it's going to be a contest. San Francisco just routs Washington in this one. I'm thinking 4 or 5 touchdown difference in this one. It's a blowout.
Yeah, give me the 49ers as well. If they can't beat the Jets, they can't beat the 49ers. Easy pick there. Ooh, here we go. Rematch of a bad Super Bowl. The Steelers traveling to Seattle. Bobby, who you taking?
I'm going Seattle.
And Mate?
Dude, in this one, so I was just hoping to get some feedback from Bobby there while he was taking the team. Give me Pittsburgh in this one. Anything to help eliminate the opportunity for the Broncos to make the playoffs, I'll be very happy for that. So give me the Steelers to beat your precious Seahawks, Keegan. Sorry. Nothing against you. I just don't want to see Denver advance.
Who did Bobby take?
Seattle.
Oh, okay. Brendan.
I don't know. Which Steelers team are we going to see? Are we going to see the one that just put up 30 points on a decent Bengals team? Or are we going to see the one that choked against 7 teams this year?
But don't forget they did make that change at coordinator too.
And they're 2-3 since then, and have had 2 good offensive games since then.
Right, so they're already better than they were before, even though they're one game under 500 under the new OC. But come on,
who's starting quarterback for the Seahawks?
I think Gino's back.
I was gonna say, then let's choose the Seahawks in Seattle.
Yes, because I'm picking Seattle. So what that means. Seattle gets the win. Oh. Hey, it's okay. Because if this matchup, if the Bengals can beat the Chiefs, it would help the Broncos get eliminated because the Bengals would get in. So, Bob, who are you taking? Are you taking the
I'm
Chiefs?
taking Cincinnati. Are you kidding?
Oh, you're taking the team that's going to eliminate Denver?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Oh, man. Brendan, did you expect that?
Yeah.
All right.
Seriously, they're gonna.
Matt, Cincinnati, Kansas City.
dude, I got to go for a team. I work for this company that is headquartered out of Cincinnati, so I don't want them to see me dogging that hometown team. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals and the Broncos playoff elimination, baby.
All right. And Brendan, are you also going Cincinnati? Or are you going to say the Kansas City Swifties?
You really think somebody can come into Arrowhead and beat them 2 weeks in a row?
Yes.
You really think a backup quarterback can come into Arrowhead and beat Patrick Mahomes?
Yes.
It's Travis Swift and Patrick Mahomes now. He's taken the name of his wife.
Well, she sucked all the power out of him, so he has no talent left.
I know Matt's not happy about that.
No, I'm not.
I'm going to say the Chiefs.
Who is Mahomes throwing touchdowns to? Like who?
Himself.
Probably, right?
If Marcus Mariota can do it, so can he.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Matt, I don't feel good about this one. Give me the Chiefs just so we can do the coin flip. Let the gravity decide our victor in this one.
All right, are we going with home team? Home team is heads, so Kansas City is heads.
Since he is tails.
Okay. Oh boy, we got a tails. Cincinnati looks like they're gonna win here.
All right, there you guys go. We got Cincinnati eliminating the Denver Broncos.
If Kansas City loses, are we still good in?
You guys are like 2 games back from the.
Yeah.
Still, if they lose out, we win extra games. We win the division.
All right, here we go. Speaking of the division game,
Maybe the Raiders could win the division too, though.
yeah, since the Raiders are ahead.
of the Broncos.
Oh, wouldn't that be the story, right?
A tiebreaker at the end of the season: Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos. Oh my goodness!
I was more just thinking the Raiders, interim head coach leads them to a divisional title.
That'd be crazy.
So let's see. We know Bobby's going to take the Chargers. So Matt, Chargers or Broncos?
Oh, dude, this is the easiest pick of the week, at least from my experience here. Denver. Oh God, unfortunately, Denver wins this game. I hope that though. I hope Russell Wilson falls off the bus and just doesn't self-harm, but he's out of the game. But Denver's going to win this game. Chargers are pretty much done without Herbert. If Herbert was in the game, I would be whoa. Careful with the profanity, Bob.
Language.
Banned
Language,
from YouTube
Bob.
with cussing, Bob.
All right.
But yeah, give me the Broncos in this one. So I guess we're 1-1 right now with Broncos and Chargers.
Yeah, because Bobby picked the Chargers. Brendan, Chargers or Broncos? Remember, it's not Brandon Staley. Maybe they can win games.
Is this his first game as their head coach, or who did they face last week?
The Bills. They almost beat the Bills.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I completely forgot what had even. I'll say the Chargers. Why not?
All right.
Boy, we're 1-2 now. Keegan, you're gonna either get a tiebreaker here or put us all the way through.
All right, just do the just do the coin. Just do the coin. So Broncos are heads, right?
Yes, this one is in the friendly confines of Invesco Field or Empower Field or Mile High or whatever you want to call it today. Oh boy. The quarter has just predicted tails.
All right, that gives a Chargers victory. All right, so that brings up Matt, you first. Green Bay, Minnesota. Who you taking?
This will be the first tie of the NFL season, I think. I think both teams finished like 31-31 final score. Give me the tie in this one. Minnesota wins this game.
Bobby.
I'm going Minnesota too.
All right, Brendan, where are you going? Green Bay, Minnesota, in Minnesota?
Did he just say Green Bay?
No, he said Minnesota.
Okay. I'm gonna. Well, I don't know. This is all of a sudden a hard one. You don't have Kirk Cousins. You don't have TJ. Addison is hurt. So, I mean, your quarterback just threw 4 interceptions.
That's why we're going with another quarterback this week.
Are you really? Because I would hope so.
Yeah, the word out of Minnesota is we're going with the rookie to give us a start this week. So last time he came in, remember, he was in for like 2 plays, got knocked out of the game, and was done for a while. But
Oh, yeah,
we
Nick
are
Mullins,
going with
right?
the rookie. Yeah.
No,
No,
What's his
Mullins
name?
is who we had. Mullins is out.
Jaron
Right.
Hall, and then Joshua Dobbs came in after he got knocked
Yeah.
out.
Correct.
That one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to choose the Packers.
Yeah, I'm going Green Bay as well. So I guess flip the coin.
The quarter agrees with me. It is heads, baby. Let's go,
Is
Vikings.
it really? I
Yeah,
think
it
you
100% honesty. I have not lied yet on a coin flip. I don't mess with the football karma. If the quarter lands on heads, we're going heads. I'm not jinxing anything.
All right, so week 18, let's see who we actually predict to make the playoffs. We start Seattle, Arizona. Bobby, who you taking?
See, Arizona.
Arizona.
Why? Because that would be a big upset.
Oh, we're picking 2 weeks this week.
Yeah, we're gonna see who makes the playoffs.
Oh, we're still doing next weekend. Whatnot?
Yeah,
I
we'll
guess.
still do it again. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I get it. We're
Matt.
doing the playoff thing. Give me the Seattle Seahawks to win the game. No, the Seahawks will take care of Arizona and thus officially just eliminate Arizona from anything ever.
Except for maybe
Bren.
getting the first overall pick.
Right. They could still trade. Brendan, what about you? Seahawks, Cardinals.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals.
Do you really?
I mean, maybe the Seahawks could be in the playoffs and they could rest their starters and play their third stringers, and then maybe the Cardinals would have a chance. No, I think this is an important game for the Seahawks to win. They need so. Yeah, the Seahawks will win.
Yeah, give me Seattle as well. I don't see them losing to Arizona. It's possible, but I don't think it happens. Ooh, here we go. Pittsburgh going to Baltimore. Bobby, who you taking?
Oh. I think I'm going Pittsburgh because if Baltimore loses, Pittsburgh helps us.
Okay, Matt.
Why are you laughing? That's true.
Wait. Did you just say if Baltimore loses, it helps the Broncos?
Yes.
You do realize Pittsburgh is the one that's tied with Denver, so you want Baltimore to win. Baltimore has already got it. It's done.
I don't have other records in that division.
All right. Well, I'm going to agree with Bob. I think Baltimore loses this game because they're going to have their playoff spot. They're going to give Pittsburgh a playoff spot by letting them win.
Brendan.
I kind of wanted to go down a similar route about, if the Ravens win
This week.
this week against Miami, they clinch the 1 seed. And so they very well could rest their starters next week. Or they could also, what's the one team that they would hate to, get into the playoffs and want to just crush their dreams?
The Denver Broncos.
We all have that one team that, if we could have the opportunity to just crush their playoff hopes, even though we're, ran away with it, there's always that one team. And I think the Steelers are that one team for the Ravens. I could see the Steelers winning for the specific reason of the Ravens sitting their starters. But that's the only way the Steelers are going to be able to win. I do think the Ravens will want to play their starters, and they will win.
Well, does it come back to, remember, was it 2 years ago or was it last year when the Raiders and Chargers both could have made the playoffs had they just tied the game or whatever? But I'm getting it backwards here. I think it was the
Yeah, if they
Raiders
tied the game.
played the game. They called the timeout, and then they're like, "Oh, you guys want to play it that way? All right, we'll just kick the field goal, win it."
The Chargers called the timeout. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So it was done then. The Raiders were like, "Okay, we'll play that way," but that was a chance both teams could have made the playoffs. Maybe something similar happens here. Baltimore's like, "Hey, Pittsburgh, you want to make it? We'll let you in, but
I'm taking Baltimore as well. I guess this means a coin flip because Bobby picked the Steelers for some reason.
it is heads."
All right, so Baltimore Ravens. All right, how about this? Tampa Bay, Carolina. Tampa Bay playing for, I think they're playoff life, right? Let's see where they're at. No, they're 2 games ahead, so they would have already wrapped up at this point the playoffs. So Bobby, in our projections, at least, Tampa Bay, Carolina.
I'm still going Carolina.
You're going to go Carolina again,
Still.
Matt.
Dude, Tampa Bay still playing. I think they need this win.
Mm-mm.
No, they would have
No.
clinched their division in our projection. Yeah.
With
Okay.
the Saints and the Falcons losing last week, they would have
But does
played.
this win bump them up another spot though in the seeding?
No,
No,
No.
a
All right.
win wouldn't. Yeah.
a win
Okay.
would do nothing. They have the 4th seed pretty much clinched if they win
Okay.
this.
In that case, give me Carolina.
Brendan.
I agree. I think Carolina, just for the fact of the Bucks will rest their starters, which, if you're a Bears fan, you don't want Carolina to win, because
Hey, dude, you can trade away that first, or you know what you can do? Draft Marvin Harrison Jr.
yeah. But if the Carolina Panthers win, then you have an invitation of more teams like the Cardinals, and I think one other team to get the 1st seed. So
All right, so Cleveland, Cincinnati, Bobby.
Still going Cleveland.
Matt.
Give me the Cleveland Browns. Joe Flacco and the ghost.
It's crazy. They're gonna have a really good record and be a wild card team. Brendan.
well, that's just like the Cowboys. They're gonna, or the Eagles. They're
Or
gonna
the
have
Castle Rock Rams.
11-win season and be the 5th seed. Like, where do the Bengals sit in the playoffs right now on your thing, Keegan?
Currently, they are the 7th seed.
Hey, Grizzy's back. Welcome back, Grizz.
I do think the Browns will win, but I think the Bengals have more to play for because they are going to be fighting for that last playoff spot, or the last 2. I don't quite know who has 6th or whatever. So
I'm going the ghost of Otto Graham. He made a fool out of Justin Fields one game. The Bears should have caught that Hail Mary, but the ghost of Otto Graham said not today.
Right, man.
So yeah, give me Cleveland, which would give them a 12th victory. That doesn't kick Cincinnati out of the playoffs yet. Ooh, Minnesota, Detroit, Matt.
This one's gonna be in Detroit.
Yeah.
It all depends on if
fighting for
the
seeding.
Lions are still playing for seeding or not. Where they are with all the ties ahead of them. Though I'm pretty much thinking they are going to be where they're going to be. So there's a high chance they rest their starters, having to play a week 1 or the very next week in the playoffs. So Vikings, I think, could actually pull it off because they're still going to be playing for that playoff spot. So give me the Minnesota Vikings in this one.
Bobby.
Still going Minnesota.
For Detroit, Brendan.
How healthy is the Vikings offense in 2 weeks?
Who's their quarterback in 2 weeks?
We still got Jefferson. What does it matter?
That's all you have, though.
Yeah, he's the second.
Addison's hurt. TJ's hurt.
Yeah, I know, right?
You don't
But-
have a starting running back.
No, we'll figure something out. Miracles do happen in
Um,
Minnesota, buddy. That's why, in
They're not-
hockey, it
they're in
was a
Detroit,
Minnesota
though.
miracle. And
Whatever
football,
happens
it
in
was a
Detroit.
Minnesota miracle.
Yeah,
We
what,
get the
what
miracles.
happens
That's
in
the way it
Detroit
works in
stays in Detroit.
But it's still Minnesota. It's still the Vikings.
Okay, so I feel like we're going to a tiebreaker. Because Brendan, are you taking the
Again.
Lions?
Again.
Yeah, I'll take the Lions.
I'm
They're fighting
taking the
for
Lions.
seeding.
Yeah, they're fighting for seeding, so go Lions. Matt, flip that coin. He's gonna drop him to the third
The
or
quarter agrees with you guys. The Lions. Stupid
the
quarter.
Lion.
I don't
The
know.
Lion.
Quarter.
All right, the Lions take that. So we'll see what happens. Chicago, Green Bay, Bobby.
Still taking the Bears.
Bears. Duh. Bears. All right, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going Chicago as well. I'm just switching it up by who's picking where. But you guys know I'm taking Chicago over those Green Bay Packers. You know what? Let's show them who really owns Green Bay. Not Green Bay, Chicago. Brendan.
I don't know. I can agree. We'll say the Bears. I don't think either team will have anything to play for right now. So it's kind of a who wants the better seeding. Who wants the easier games next year? Who wants I guess technically who wants last place in the division? Like
Right.
so well yeah.
All right, Matt. We've already sent the Bears, but who are you taking?
The Bears. Give me the Bears.
The Bears. All right, here we go. This could have playoff implications. It could have, division implications. We got Houston Texans traveling to the Indianapolis Colts last week of the season. Bobby, who you taking and why?
Oh God. Colts win. I hope the Colts win. No.
Colts, Matt?
This is where it gets tough because, honestly, without really knowing seedings or seeing it in front of you, you're seeing it right now, but yeah. I'm going to go with the Colts on this one.
All right, Brendan, either we're going to force a tiebreaker or you're going to pick the Colts.
Eli and
I'm
Bob's
not picking the
picking.
Colts. I have the Texans winning the division, so
All right. Oh, man, who am I going to take?
Well, questions directed at you, Bob.
Matt, do the coin. I'll say Houston, so do the coin.
All right, who's the home team on this one?
The Colts, yeah.
All right. Ooh, the quarter is going heads as well. It's predicting the Colts.
All right, that didn't change the playoff game, but I did get the Colts the division lead right now. All right, Kansas City, Bobby, or the Chargers? Who you taking?
Not Kansas City.
Are you
Chargers.
taking the?
Wow, you just picked the Chiefs? Oh,
I'm picking the Chargers. No, that'll help us. Chiefs lose. Chiefs lose. We're still in the playoffs. Playoff hunt.
Currently, the Chiefs are projected 2 games ahead of Denver in our playoff.
It could happen. Last game of the week. Last week of the season, man.
All right. So he's picking the Chargers. Matt, who you taking?
Give me the Kansas City Chiefs. Chief Kingdom, baby. He takes care of it. They end the season for the Denver Broncos officially.
The season's over. They can't make the playoffs in our projections. Bob or Brendan.
I'm going to say the Chiefs. Chargers are just, kind of like you said, they're done. They're just trying to make it past, the end of the year, get their new coach, which, yeah.
Yeah, give me Kansas City too. I think they win, and it would clinch them the third seed. You got to remember they're going for playoff seeding still. They could possibly drop below whoever wins the South there. So, here we go. Easy picking possibly. Those Las Vegas Raiders playing at home against the Russell Wilson fumble and Bounty Gate 2.0s. Bobby, who you taking?
Taking us.
Who is us?
We're playing Raiders this week. Oh, Chargers are playing.
Whoa, wait, what?
Raiders, right? I think we're
What's
playing
going
Raiders.
All right.
We're going to beat the heck out of the Raiders, though.
Brendan pulls back onto topic. Hurry.
I'm lost with where we're at. Now.
The Raiders will win against Denver week 18. I think the Raiders will have more to play for, and
I think we might have.
Denver can
I think we
take
might have won the division
on
last
their
week.
way back from being
I really
hungover
think
too
we
much.
do.
So
Somehow gives me we win the divisions.
Even if they win this game,
Yes.
they can't win the division battle.
Yes, they can.
No, because the Chiefs have 10 wins. If they win this one, they'd have 9.
If Luke
Or
Kansas
they
City
have
out,
8.
though,
They're not going to lose out though.
they
All right,
will.
Bobby or Matt.
I'm going with the Raiders in Week 18. I don't know where we're at here. I don't see the Broncos winning, and I don't think they want to win squarely on the fact that they need some draft capital. They need a higher draft pick. They're not going to the playoffs for that reason.
Yeah, give me the Raiders as well. And just like that, they are the 7th seed. They didn't leapfrog the Chiefs. So, Bills, Dolphins. This one could be interesting. Bobby, who you taking?
I'm still going. I'm going Buffalo.
Matt.
Just give me whoever. Just start marking me down for whoever. No, I've already put Josh Allen out of his misery, so I don't know how well they're going to do without him as their quarterback. So, I think they still find a way to win it. Buffalo wins.
Brendan.
Buffalo is fighting for the 6th seed, are they not?
Yeah, but right now they have a game lead over the Raiders.
And Dolphins would have the 2 seed clinched.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see Buffalo winning just based off of they needed a little more. But I don't know.
And no kidding.
So
No kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding.
I think Buffalo's already been
No
projected
kidding.
by our team.
No kidding.
Oh, okay. How about this? If the Buffalo Bills win, they win the division. Does that change your vote? Anybody?
No.
So the
No.
Dolphins are still.
oh yeah, I guess that would be 2 losses in a row. Huh.
Give me the Dolphins.
I was about to say, if they're fighting for the division, give me the Dolphins.
Matt's already reaching for the coin. He knows what time it is.
Yeah, we're going for the coin,
just
man.
cheating, then give me the Bills. But if they're fighting for the division,
But wait, isn't this game in Buffalo? Or did you
It's
say
in
Miami? Oh, it's in Miami. Okay, no. Let me pull back on that one then. I'm still lost with all the shit going on everywhere around here right now. No, Miami wins this one. If it's in Miami, they take care of business.
Okay, so we're giving it to Miami.
I was going to say, if they're also fighting for the division, I think we should give it to Miami. That means
Right.
they're playing their starters.
Ooh, here's an interesting one. Those New York Football Jets going to New England to go against the Patriots. Bobby, who you taking?
What's that? What's that? What team is that?
The Jets and the Patriots.
Hey, oh God, no. I'm going New England.
Okay. Oh,
Why do you
Brendan.
hate the Jets so much? Do you hate the Jets because they stole Aaron Rodgers from Denver?
They totally did.
Okay. Who cares about this game? Why this game does not matter in any way, shape, or form. We'll say the Jets, just to, try to get Belichick out of there a little sooner.
All right, so we got 1-1. Matt, who you taking?
Give me the trash can in the end zone to win the game. No, I think the Jets win it.
Thanksgiving Day is going to win.
Give me the Jets, Jets.
All right, get that coin ready because I'm taking the Patriots. 2-2.
Well, the coin already said you were stupid for that pick there. It is heads, so whoever that home team was is
The Patriots. I'd give the Patriots a respectable 5-12 record, only 2 games behind the Broncos. Let's see. The Falcons going to New Orleans. It looks like both teams eliminated, playing for pride. Bobby, who you taking?
Saints still.
Saints. Brendan, Falcons, Saints, who you taking? Okay, Matt, who you taking? Falcons, Saints.
Give me the Falcons in this one to beat the Saints. Although I think this one's going to come down to a coin flip.
Brendan, are you going to try to send me to the coin flip stage again?
I don't know. What's the record right now?
1-1.
Okay. I haven't heard a whole lot of bad things coming out of New Orleans. Besides maybe they should have started Jameis Winston over Derek Carr, but I don't know. I know everyone is calling for Arthur
Smith. Falcons.
Okay. The Falcons head coach to be fired. So I think he's playing for his life right now. And so I think the Falcons will win. They are trying to put in their best game forward for their head coach. I don't think it's going to succeed, but I think he's still fired after this year. He just hasn't done enough consistency, and I think that the Falcons will move on from their quarterback and their head coach this year. But I think they'll win the game.
Yeah, I'm going New Orleans, so I guess he did it. Matt, do the coin flip.
All right, coin flip coming up.
Coin
It is
flip.
tails.
Oh, so Atlanta. Okay.
Ooh, the Falcons. There we go.
Uh-oh, here we go. Big game. Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Giants. Bobby, who you taking?
Which game is that? Sorry. I was writing.
Matt?
Dude, you're making this harder than it needs to be with these picks in week 18. Why don't you go first this time?
Give me the Eagles to beat the Giants. All right. I took it. Fair. Brendan.
You sure about that? The Eagles can barely ever play the divisional opponents.
Eagles, Giants.
I mean, I hope the Eagles would win, but them setting their players and stuff, they could also very well, lose. They need to win. They do need to win for a divisional record and to be to win the division. So we'll say the Eagles will win because they have a little more fire under them with the Cowboys nipping on their heels.
Matt, that's two of us so far. Who are you taking?
Jeez. The Eagles win. I mean, as much as you'd like to think the Giants can handle business, they're just like we said before. They can't find who their identity is, and because of that, it's affecting the way they play ball.
Here's one that could shake up things. The Rams and the 49ers. Bobby.
Rams.
The Rams.
Yep.
All right, man.
Yeah, I'm with Bob on this one. The Rams win for playoff reasons.
All right, Brendan. Rams or 49ers? If the Rams win, guess who has number one seed? The Philadelphia Eagles.
No, then I take that back. We don't want the Eagles there.
I was more trying to look at it a different way, but yeah, I mean, we'll say the Rams. Probably not, actually. If they're still fighting for seeding and stuff, I think the 49ers will be able to win in San Francisco. The Rams do need the victory. I think the Cowboys actually have a lock for the 5th seed, huh? So Rams, best they can do is 6th seed. So we'll say 49ers.
So, Matt, were you taking Rams or 49ers?
I think I'm still with the Rams. I mean, the 49ers concern me. They have a lot of play to make up for it.
Yeah, I'm actually going the Rams on this one. I think they've been playing well, and I think if anyone can make Purdy have a bad game, it's going to be McVay and company. So give me the Rams. So gets them back in the 6th seed there. Whew. All right, here we go for all the marbles. Will Jacksonville make the playoffs, or will they lose to the Tennessee Titans? Bobby.
I'm still going my first pick. Tennessee.
Okay. Matt. Person.
Brett. Who's Brett?
I was going to say Brendan, and then I looked at you.
No. Let's go with the Tennessee Titans in this one. I haven't given them a lot of love the whole year, so we'll make the last week a week where I give them a little bit of love. Tennessee with the win.
Brendan.
How's everything sitting right now, playoff pitcher-wise?
Let's see. Jacksonville is 8-8. So if they win, they're 9-8. They could still win the division, still maybe push Las Vegas out of the playoffs. Tennessee has been eliminated. They're only 6-10 in our projection.
Right. But how do they vote against the Texans? Like how far back are the Texans?
The Texans are 8-9 and not in the playoffs.
I mean, I would hope the Jacks could, put it together for one last game and win. So I'll say Jacksonville. I don't know I think the Titans are missing something big, and I don't think they'll be able to go against the Jags.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville pulls it together. We've seen late playoff pushes with them. So I guess you know what this means, Matt. Bring out the old coin.
It is heads.
All right, so Tennessee. Brings us to our final matchup of the regular season. Good old Dallas Cowboys going against those Washington Commanders. Bobby, who you taking?
I'll go Dallas meeting Washington for the final week.
And Mate.
Dude, there's no doubt Dallas is going to win this game. All the way, baby. Dallas all the way.
Brendan.
Actually, I don't completely agree with that. I think that with the Eagles, well, we don't really know the times yet. So, if this game is
With our
actually
projections.
later in the day and the Eagles have already won, the Cowboys could rest their starters because they've locked the 5th seed in, which could give the Commanders a win. It is in Washington. So I'm going to say the Commanders because I have the Eagles already winning and already winning the division, which then the Dallas would rest their starters. So,
yeah, you know what? Give me Washington as well, which means my one less out to the coin.
Tails on this one.
Oh, so Cowboys. All right, so here is how the projected rankings are. For the AFC East, we have in 4th place New England Patriots at 5-12. In 3rd place, the New York Jets at 6-11. 2nd place, the Buffalo Bills 10-7. And 1st place, those Miami Dolphins 12-5. In the AFC North, we have 4th place, the Pittsburgh Steelers, giving Mike Tomlin his first losing season at 8-9. Number 3, Cincinnati Bengals 9-8, just missing the playoffs. 2nd place, Cleveland Browns 12-5, and for 1st place, Baltimore Ravens. In the AFC South, we have 4th place, Tennessee Titans 7-10. 3rd place, Houston Texans 8-9. 2nd place, Jacksonville Jaguars 8-9. And 1st place, Indianapolis Colts. In the AFC West, 4th place, Los Angeles Chargers 6-11. 3rd place, Denver Broncos 7-10.
No.
2nd place, but out of
No.
oh wait, no. 2nd place, Las Vegas
place.
Raiders 9-8. And 1st place, Kansas City Chiefs 10-7, which would make the AFC playoff bracket as follows. For the wild card games, number 7, Las Vegas Raiders going to number 2, Miami Dolphins. In the next matchup, number 6, Buffalo Bills going to the Kansas City Chiefs. And in the last wild card matchup, the 12-5 Cleveland Browns going to the 9-8 Indianapolis Colts. And then obviously first round by the number 1 seed Baltimore Ravens. Bobby, Denver is 3 games behind first place in the projections. They're 2 behind 2nd place. Their loss to New England is what hurt them.
Nobody's faulting you for that, Bob. This is sports talk, man. You gotta give your reasonings for stuff. Everyone has a right to their opinions, and that's the great thing about radio, dude. So voice your opinion. That's a great thing to do. That's why we ask you why sometimes, so we can get your opinion.
Yeah, and then in the NFC, we'll start with the NFC East. Fourth place, the 4-13 Washington Commanders. Third place, the New York Giants at 5-12. Commanders were 4-13. In second place, the Dallas Cowboys, 12-5, and first place, Philadelphia Eagles. NFC North, we have fourth place, Green Bay Packers, 7-10. Third place, Chicago Bears, 8-9. Second place, Minnesota Vikings, 8-9. And first place, Detroit Lions, 12-5. For the NFC South, we have fourth place, Carolina Panthers, 4-13. New Orleans Saints, 7-10, third place. In second place, the Atlanta Falcons, 8-9. And first place, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 9-8. Finally, NFC West, we have Arizona, 3-14. Fourth place, which would also be the worst record in the NFL by projections here. So they would get the number one pick. In third place, Seattle Seahawks, 10-7. In second place, Los Angeles Rams, also 10-7. And at number one, San Francisco 49ers, 12-5, which would make the playoffs games as follows. Number 7, Seattle Seahawks going to number 2, San Francisco 49ers. The number 6, Los Angeles Rams going against the number 3, Detroit Lions. And number 5, Dallas Cowboys going to the number 4, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Similar as the other 5-4, where the 12-5 is going to a 9-8 team, with your number 1 team on bye week, Philadelphia Eagles. Brendan, how do you feel about these playoff projections?
I feel pretty good. I think we could get some good games. Obviously, the 4 and 5 in both conferences aren't going to be the best games, but the other 2 games could be really well. So,
Matt, how do you think the projections shaped up?
I can't disagree with him. I mean, I think if Kansas City were to lose out, in Bob's point, I still think the Raiders have that same chance of winning out as well. It would come down to that Week 18 matchup. Just think about that, though. Whoever would win that one would be the team representing the AFC West. So that's a lot, but I don't put it on Kansas City to losing out the season.
Especially to the Chargers.
Right. Yeah, that's the hardest thing. If it wasn't the Chargers, if they had a harder Week 18 matchup, maybe. This would have been a good week for the Broncos and Chiefs to have played then, for all the balls and glory and marbles. But no, I like the way things kind of panned out here a little bit. It would make for a very interesting wild card weekend for sure.
Bobby, what's your thoughts on this playoff projection?
No, I see it coming down to Week 18, the last week of the season. I do see Kansas. I mean, if something does shake out and Kansas City does lose out and the Raiders do lose out, I see us winning the division. Somehow, I mean, some shakes, we do win the division. I could see it happening.
I just don't see Kansas City losing to the Chargers and Easton Stick at quarterback.
But I mean, stranger things have happened.
Downtown area, but if you get into
And true.
Yeah.
We've already seen that possibly the Bronco offensive line has given up on the Russell Wilson experiment.
I'd put Stidham in. I just want to see what he can do. He's younger too. He's younger.
Hey, we ranked Stidham ahead.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, ain't nobody in here disagreeing with that.
yeah, we haven't seen a Russell Wilson ranking recently. Why is that?
I just don't like how he moves around. I mean, he sits there with the ball like this in his hand, and then gets snapped out.
I was paid a substantial amount of money to keep Russell Wilson out of my mouth, so I've had to be nice recently.
I don't buy it. Where is
I
the
think we'll cut him
petition to? They
I think
can't
we
cut
bite the
him.
bullet.
Oh, speaking of the petition, I got a few more signatures this past over Christmas break.
Oh, to send
My
Russ to
uncle, who's
Canada.
also a huge Broncos fan, loves the idea of sending Russ to Canada, and he would like to push this motion down in Colorado Springs at the fire department for you guys, and get you
I
done.
love it. I love it. I think the Broncos should go after DeVito, even bring him in. Bring in Italian to run the Denver Broncos team. Or
Are you talking about? Are you talking DeVito from the Giants or Danny DeVito, the one that played the Penguin?
I would put Danny DeVito in there. Although he's kind of a short-statured quarterback, I think he could clear some defenders to throw the ball to a wide receiver. But
did I hear Baker Mayfield maybe next year as Broncos quarterback? There's a lot of
No, there's mutual interest between the Buccaneers and Mayfield for him to stay in Tampa.
Yeah, and he ain't gonna want to come to Denver where it's a nightmare. He's got Sean Payton. He sees how Payton's defense goes after the heads of quarterbacks. He's a head smart quarterback. He ain't gonna be buying into this Broncos BS.
Well, plus the Broncos dead cap next year, if they were to cut Russell Wilson, is $85 million.
I think we bite the bullet though.
There's no way they bite
$85 million bullet.
That's more. That's half your roster space for a player that won't be on it. You'd have to cut so many other players. Half your defense would be gone.
I think Sean Payton's had enough though. Boy, I think he's had enough.
Yeah, but you just can't get out of that because then if you go, yeah, that's right, $85 million. That is correct.
That's a big number, Bob.
Yeah, so you think $85 million? What's the cap? What is the
295 or 275, something like that?
Yeah, so
maybe bringing a rookie quarterback, maybe.
Yeah, but now they've played themselves out of the top rookie quarterbacks by trying to win out. So now, and if you bring in
the
Baker
Denver
Mayfield,
Broncos have a cap space of $190 million. Currently, $800,000 is available.
Yeah.
So you think next year they're going to be in the red because obviously that's not counting what Russell's going to make.
Yeah.
And if you add on a Baker Mayfield contract, you're looking at $120 million, which is what you leave $70 million for the other members of your team. There's no way.
Just take your top 5 Denver Bronco players. You have Russell Wilson at $48 million
this year, right?
This year, yep. You got Mike McGlinchey at $17.5 million. He's one of your right tackles. Garrett Bowles at $17 million. Justin Simmons at $15.25 million. Zach Allen at $15.25 million. So just those 5 guys right there, Bob. That's it. Then you're done.
Would you cut Bowles or maybe off kind of?
So you would cut Bowles in order to just pay Russell Wilson's dead cap space. So you're already losing. You're already losing the team around then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're gonna cut though. We're gonna,
they can't. They've paid off all these big contracts. Unless you trade players, no one's trading for that $85 million. I would be.
Maybe Judy will be one of them.
Judy's a free agent.
Yeah.
So he doesn't count against the cap.
Okay.
They should have traded him away and got a draft pick, but Sean Payton didn't want to do that.
I do think that there's going to be one quarterback on the move, at least one. Obviously, there's probably going to be more, but I think a certain Arizona Cardinal quarterback is going to be shipped off to who knows where.
The Raiders.
For Caleb Williams. I do believe that they will trade away Kyler Murray and try to bring in him if they get the first overall pick.
Well, and here's your early projections for next year, Bob. Currently, the Denver Broncos are projected to be $27 million over the cap once they sign all 50 51 players
Yeah.
Just on their roster without free agency.
just on the roster without free agency. So some big moves coming to Denver this offseason.
And by big moves, it would have to be trades because even if they release those players, there's still a cap hit. Like if we look at Garrett Bowles, who's owed $20,000 next year, his cap hit. Let's see. Oh, plus he has a signing bonus. Yeah, he's 8% of the cap. Just him. Just Garrett Bowles, 8%. Zach Allen, your defensive end, 8% of your cap. Mike Glenshie, 7.69. Justin Simmons, 7.59. Cortland Sutton, 7.2. Tim Patrick, 6.6. Ben Power, 6.3.
Russ has got still 5 years, right? His contract, or
Till 2027, I think. Yeah.
5 years still.
Yeah, but the longer the Broncos hold him, the easier it gets to get out of his contract. Just right now is that point. This middle of the contract period is where the most significant penalties come in if they cut him.
Yeah.
You can try to trade him, but you have to find somebody who's willing to take on that entire contract. It's going to be more like the Rockies when they moved on from Nolan Arenado. Yeah, here we'll give you our best player, and we'll still give you $85 million. They will hold up to trade him and give money.
Well, and look at this.
Restructure his contract too.
They're still paying 12 players next year, dead cap.
Yeah.
Randy Gregory, $6 million. They're paying him. He hasn't been on their team since what week? Frank Clark, they're paying him $3 million.
Yeah,
Brandon McManus, $1 million. Montreal, Washington, they're paying Christopher Allen, Seth Benson, Henry Bird, DeMontre Jacobs, Art Green, PJ Mustipher, Taylor Grimes, Marcus Haynes. They owe over $10 million in dead cap already.
Yeah.
So if you add on the $85 million for just Russell, that'd be almost $100 million for players not on their team. So over half your caps. There's no way.
Earlier today, you asked me if the Raiders head coach was going to keep his job, and I'm going to say yes, specifically because the Raiders owe, 2 or 3 head coaches millions of dollars. Like, if I could have any job in the world right now, it would be the Raiders or the Carolina Panthers head coaching job, because I get millions of dollars, and I only actually have to work like 2 weeks, and then I get fired. Like,
well, and you hear that the Raiders have been playing around with the idea of John Gruden coming back.
I heard that.
They also said Jim Harbaugh was going to come and be the Raiders head coach. So
I think Jim Harbaugh might go to Chicago, but I don't know.
Actually, I also heard that he was offered a 10-year contract by Michigan to not come back to the NFL.
Yeah, and he couldn't go to the NFL till like 2024 or something, after 2024.
Right. It just stipulated this offseason he could not field job offers in the NFL if he were to sign this 10-year extension with Michigan.
Crazy.
I think it was 10-year, $125 million contract, which is nothing compared to the Ohtani contract of 10-year, $700 million.
Right. Well, there you guys go. We've projected the playoffs. No real surprise. I mean, the Raiders getting in maybe was a surprise to some people. The Colts winning the division might have been a surprise. The NFC, really no change there from what we see right now. So outside the 49ers, Eagles placing. So, yeah, we'll see. Brendan, best of luck this week. I hope it's a good game. At least I hope we get to play our entire matchup.
Right? Good luck to you guys. Way to knock Blake out of the playoffs.
I think I'm playing for 11th place, I think.
You're not playing for the singlet?
No.
You sure you don't want to wear the singlet? It looked pretty good. You'd have to wear it while pushing in carts, dude.
Brian.
Yeah, Ty might win the worst team matchup there.
It wasn't too long ago that he was a playoff team, too, though.
I know. Just this year, he's
like this downward spiral, man.
Well, he didn't pick up any running backs in the draft, and he picked up like a bunch of like lower name kind of fringe starters who haven't panned out.
Yeah.
It's okay to pick a couple, but no running backs. He had 2 going into the year and a bunch of fringe starters. I don't think that worked out.
For sure.
At one point, Bobby was 2-1.
Yeah, I was.
Got to get your shit back together next year. Quit picking up Bronco players.
I will. I'm need help though. So
Yep.
Well, don't
it's help
pick
that we
up
give you
Bronco
every year.
yeah, I'll need help though.
No Broncos.
No.
Brendan, not for a tactical advantage or anything, but who are you starting at a tight end this week?
None of your business.
Here, hold on. Let me take off my ear mic.
After Sean Payton said that, yeah.
It's like wrestling. You can say it, and I will never know what's going on,
Sure.
even though they're like talking bad about you on live television. Anything fun happening in wrestling? Has CM Punk exploded? He hasn't had a match yet, so I still give it like a year, 2 years maybe.
I honestly have no clue. I haven't been watching.
I've heard The Rock maybe coming back at Meet Royal Rumble or something.
I did hear some news. Cody Rhodes might not main event. So the whole reason he went to WWE might just been flushed down the toilet by CM Punk.
Would it be The Rock and Roman Reigns maybe? Both cousins or something?
I don't know, but give me Seth Rollins. I will vote Seth Rollins over CM Punk. Go Chicago.
I second that vote.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, if you're watching, feel free to come on, talk with us. Huge fans. We want to see you beat CM Punk.
Yeah, burn it down.
Burn it down. You know what?
Did I hear Ambrose maybe coming back too?
No way, Ambrose.
That's WWE.
Join the bloodline?
No. Why would he go join the bloodline?
The only reason Dean Ambrose is going to WWE is because AEW and WWE have a feud pay-per-view thing going on.
Yeah.
Dean burnt those bridges and happily did it.
Yeah, he's happy in AEW.
Yeah.
He just signed a massive contract extension with them through 2027. So he's not going anywhere for a while.
And he got more power too, so he's more on like the creative side and stuff with the young talent. So he's not
from what we always heard, he was a very creative wrestler. I mean, a lot of the Shield was him.
Yeah. Will they bring back the Shield though, and then WWE just to get another faction going as the Shield or something?
They've tried that before with the Nexus. It doesn't work.
Yep. Nope.
Yeah, the worldwide legion of
Yeah, Nexus 2.0. Who led the Nexus 2.0? Oh, that's right.
Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett was what?
No, Wade Barrett was the Core, which was a terrible name.
Yeah.
No, CM Punk led the Nexus 2.0.
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. CM Punk is a good wrestler, but I'm just I don't know. Hey, Punk, if you want to come on too, feel free. You know, we're not going to stop you. But I know we won't be hearing about what happened at All Out because the NDAs were signed for life. Though Chris Jericho said he didn't sign one. So, hey, Chris Jericho, if you're out there, please let us know.
Supposedly Jungle Boy is coming back to AEW, which I am happy about.
Yeah, except I do kind of feel like it was his fault what happened in London. I don't think he needed to be like real glass. But I don't know. At the same time, he was not swinging at Tony. Bob, what are you doing?
You may notice that it is now out.
Oh boy. I think we lost them.
Yeah. I'm looking at that. I don't know if that was the best salute for them to be doing.
Yeah.
Hail Hitler.
Okay. Yeah, but see, CM Punk led the Nexus.
Yep.
Yeah, and for all the crap he gave John Cena for burying the Nexus, which is true, the Nexus should have won that match.
No, absolutely. When you look
But
at
then
the superstars that were on Nexus and how big they got,
right? Yeah, I don't know. Hey, go CM Punk. JK, it's April Fool's in my mind. We're going Seth Rollins. What else is happening in sports, Matt? Anything fun? Did Mark Traylor sign with the Colorado Rockies yet?
unfortunately, not yet. We keep tweeting the Rockies, hey, this great guy, Mark Traylor's out there. Go ahead and pick him up. No response from any Rockies or representatives of the Rockies. So, yeah, I'm a little disappointed there.
Brendan, any news that you know of going on in sports?
Nothing major. I'm excited hockey's coming back, though. Good 3-day break from hockey. They need to come back.
Right. Bobby,
Nothing major that I heard.
no. All right. Well, I think that is where we will end it tonight. Yeah, go more sports chat to your left, more cools to your right. Don't forget to that like, give us a subscribe. Join us next week. Let us know who you think's making the playoffs.
21 miles per hour, so it is still quite breezy across the metro area with the gusty winds.